Yeah.
Morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning, Holly.
How y'all doing?
Doing well, yourself?
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
like we missed this rain. Thank goodness.
I hope so. Good morning, Roberta.
Good morning, Holly.
Okay.
How is your husband?
He's better, but he shared with me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Well, that was rotten of him.
It was rotten for him. So now I'm just going to extend his quarantine period too.
There you go. That'll teach him.
That'll teach him to spend all that time with me in this house.
I know a good divorce attorney, Roberta.
We're not there yet.
Okay, good.
Give us 2 more days.
Okay.
Morning, Doug.
Hey, Gordon, how you doing? How's
Doing
everybody
well.
today?
Morning. Good.
It's pretty outside right now, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Love it.
I have a sister in Orlando, and she said the eye of the storm is going over them right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty rough down there. We were very lucky because we live in a canal community and we have
Yeah.
real concerns about water intrusion. And
Right.
because of the storm hitting south of us and the way the winds were going, it sucked all the water out. At high
Wow.
tide, you could see the bottom of the canals.
Ooh.
And so
Wow.
when the surge came in, it just filled it back up. So,
I wonder what that did to boats.
well, if it was, most of them are either tied to a dock and just kind of go down and sit on the ground, or in
Yeah.
a lift, something like that.
Yeah. But your
The
house house is okay?
As far as we know, it is. The power went out, so we didn't have our cameras available to us, but looking what other people have posted, it looks fine.
Good.
The problem with the water going out is last time it did that during Irma, seawall collapsed because
Oh.
it pulled the water out and there was nothing
Right.
holding the seawall up. So a lot of
Yeah.
people had to put in new seawalls, but
Wow.
so far so good.
Good. Good.
Is Jim Curtis? Jason, do we have everyone available?
Well, he's not on, but everybody that's attempted to log in, I've allowed into the meeting.
Okay. Jim, I guess who else do we have? Harry, is he?
He's down there at the bottom. I don't know what he's doing.
No, that looks like Howard.
Who's,
No, it could have been Howard instead of Harry.
okay,
That's Howard.
it's
It's
Howard.
Howard. It's Howard.
There's Howard.
Good
Right
morning.
Put the
Howard.
video on if you want to see me, but that's okay.
Okay,
We ain't
Well, I
gonna
guess-
say anything, Howard.
No, I just wanted you to hear me.
All right, well, get out of your pajamas and get to work.
Oh, man, pajama boy.
how about Jamie? Is Jamie on?
Yeah, Jamie's
I'm
on.
here.
Oh, okay. Hi, good morning, Jamie. Very
Good morning.
Well, let's go ahead and start the meeting if that's okay. I guess, first of all, we have to approve the August 25th meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I'll say aye if I'll approve.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. Very good. Good morning, Ed.
Oh, me.
Hey, that's all we needed was that extra
Very good,
vote there.
We now have a quorum.
very good.
Who is the one listed as iPhone?
Okay.
Oh, me.
Connie Larson, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Connie.
Well, let's go into the discussion items. First of all, the marketing update by Doug. I did want to say Doug has to leave the meeting at 10:30, so, but he should have plenty of time. Doug, you're on.
Yeah, thanks, Gordon. And I know there's a couple of things right behind me, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time because I sent you this stuff yesterday, and I, try to send you stuff during the month. So depending on what we get and when we get it, and that type stuff. So because we want to get on to a couple other things since everything's looking good now for Monday. But sent you the Golf Central magazine article last week about North Georgia and Sky Valley, and they were part of the article. Great, it's a great partnership we have. It goes out to 100,000 people all over the Southeast. So there's the link again. You can go page 30 and 31, and certainly appreciate what they do for us. Before I forget, which is not a part of that, East Southern Golf will have a, he wrote me yesterday, he was down there in Florida, so he was heading out, but he's got a thing on Sky Valley that we'll be getting out, and so I'll send that to you as soon as he sends it to me. All right, so the email, Fall Blast email, or just the Sky Valley email, started sending that out every week now, and we'll continue through Fall Fest, and certainly continue to like this new one. But as we talked about, the ad looks great. We just, get a new ad and get the Garden Club out of there and the Fall Festival dates out of there, and we can use that just ongoing. Steve is working on a new 30-second video for fall, which takes longer than you would think. It takes much longer than 30 seconds to put together. But he wants to make sure we get the Fall Festival photos to put in it. And then my goal is to work on and do something every quarter, and then it would be generic. And so we would have something we could send out every quarter, and everybody could see the different seasons. And we'd send this out to a lot of real estate people, which I'm, continuing to promote to. Still got 2 radio shows says they want to put us on, and sometimes it just takes a while to get on their schedule. So working on that, and we can figure out who we want to do that again, whether it's Jamie or anybody else. Doing social media every week, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and promoting Sky Valley. Just did one yesterday about Sky Valley, short, sweet pictures. So getting a lot of, because I go back and check, getting a lot of hits coming back, letting people seeing them. So that's good. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been delving into the real estate there in Sky Valley, and I'm going to different real estate sites like realtor.com, and just, checking out Sky Valley, Georgia. And I know y'all know this, but it's good for me to continue to see this. But I'm going to say this that you guys you don't know. There are a lot of lots up there for sale. So certainly homes, not so many, but some nice ones are up there for sale too. But a lot of lots, and I mean a lot. And as we've talked about in the past, if we could get these lots sold where people could come up there and continue to start building the new homes and become members and golfers and pay that city tax and much more, then that would be good. So I'm gonna be kind of revising some things to let people know about certainly real estate Sky Valley, which we have been, but now I'm going to kind of focus on see if we can get these lots sold, or just have them go to, these places where they could see I mean, when I turned on, I think realtor.com in Sky Valley, there was 52 that people had listed. So, I mean, if we could just sell a fraction of those every little bit, that'd be great, and get some, you know, new money coming in, new members up there at the club and things like that. So, I've been in contact with my real estate people in Georgia and Florida, and see how we can do this in a very less expensive way. And so everybody seems to be, as I've said, they need editorial, need things. So we're going to be working on some things to showcase your great community to people all over. And so I think that will certainly help. So we're just not focusing on just golf or whatever. Steve and I are coming up Monday. We weren't sure, but I think now, looking at the weather forecast, I think we're going to be good to go for Monday. And we're going to be doing a lot of different things. Gordon is spearheading this in terms of what we're going to do. So certain things that I know that the mayor had put in there, which were great ideas, like taking pictures of the city employees, you know, maybe showing a policeman in the police car, so people can kind of say, oh, okay, they've got their own police force. But certainly the new culvert right there, that's beautiful, and so we want to get some other stuff there, and certainly things we're fixing to talk about it. So I'll shut up, and then we'll be back later in October in terms of the peak season. So as y'all know, it kind of comes and goes really quick. So we're going to hopefully be paying attention to that every day on the cam. So any help y'all can tell us there, and we'll certainly probably be up there more than one day, and then maybe even spend the night so we can get some early morning shots, you know, sunsets too, that type stuff. So but that's it. So that's it for me.
Very good.
Didn't you, don't we have Peter McIntosh coming for the Fall Fest too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We'll follow up with you, Doug. You put together the list that we want for Monday. You know, it was sort of open, not knowing the weather, what it was going to do, and lo and behold, this morning it's changed completely. So
Yeah, that's
yes,
kind of watching it all.
I didn't know about it.
I'm glad. We need some rain down here where I live, so I was kind of hoping, but I didn't want rain and 40-mile-an-hour winds and, you know, that type of stuff. So I'm kind of glad it's going a little east of us.
Great. Well, fantastic job what you're doing, and especially like this combination of things. It's like the real estate, ideas about real estate. We'll certainly look at that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Gordon,
Go ahead.
may I interrupt for a minute?
Sure, absolutely.
I know this is, I want to say this because while Doug's still on the phone and I don't know how long he'll be there, but I wanted to let you know that as a result of the Super Senior Championship that was held here, GSGA was extremely impressed with our course, and they have presented us with a proposal to bring another tournament in October of next year. It is the third Peach Palmetto Women's Showdown, and it's a group of ladies from Georgia and South Carolina. It is an interstate challenge team competition between the Georgia State Golf Association and the Women's South Carolina Golf Association. And so we have talked to them about this, and we have, we're in the process of working with them to get that tournament here. These are some very professional women who, and they do a lot of advertising for this. And if we are able to host this, Sky Valley Country Club will be on all of their posters that will go out throughout Georgia and South Carolina. So I just wanted to let Doug know that we were in the process of doing that, and let him know that we're excited about it.
That's great. When I met with Jeff Vargas, who was up there, and kind of explain to him, you know, that, hey, we would love to, I mean, this, I think I mentioned to you, this was the first time he had ever been to Sky Valley, and loved it, and thought, you know, and I said, you know, anything you do for us in the future. And so I'm excited he pushed something across, because he had pretty much said we're probably going to have to look at 2024. So, and I told you, this is very important to get this type word out, and Roberta's perfect. And this is the type stuff, if we could get one or two of these a year from the GSGA or the Georgia PGA, you know, even junior events. This really does a lot of great marketing, and people can come up and see, you know, really how beautiful it is up there, what all you have to offer. And certainly having ladies come up it will be fantastic. So I think we need to put maybe, you know, a inner social type committee together when we finalize this, Roberta, and really figure out what we can do to really knock their, you know, socks off with what, you know, Sky Valley has. So that's exciting, and so that's good. I'm glad he was a very nice guy, and I think I mentioned, I know I'm just repeating myself, but I've been here 19 years with the GSGA, and I've never been to Sky Valley. So like I said, again, he was really thrilled with what Sky Valley had to offer. Certainly, you know, your weather is certainly a valuable, sellable.
Well,
So that's great, Roberta. That's
it will
good.
also be during our leaf season. So, because it's at the end of October. So, and having groups from both Georgia and South Carolina, which is right, you know, right in our area, is very exciting.
Well, we can get the mayor to dress up, because it'll be close to Halloween, and we'll get her to do a costume and get out there and greet everybody. And I think that'll be great. And Ed, you sitting down there at the bottom, you ain't saying much, but we might have to get you to part of that too.
I just drive the broom.
That's good. That's good. So, but that's fantastic, Roberta. I'm glad.
What are we talking about, Roberta? The number of golfers? Any
Well,
idea?
it's only 16 women. It's
Okay.
a small group, but
Okay.
they're coming at a time. They'll be here on a Sunday and Monday. They'll come in on Saturday and be here on a Sunday and Monday for the actual tournament, which is great for us to accommodate them on those 2 days.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot of prestige associated with this. And these are the type that will spread the word to other people. So
Really?
we're hoping to, you know, to capitalize on that.
Yeah, we can certainly put a lot of things together, probably starting next spring, that we can promote this to all my media guys in South Carolina, Georgia, and really, we can really make this a really big thing. So it's great.
Great.
Very good. Thank you. That's very good news. Okay, next item on the discussion item is website update.
Gordon, this
Yes,
is Howard.
sir.
Let me just mention one
Hey, Howard.
thing to Doug. Doug, if you can maybe help when we get the entrance and who the participants are going to be, if you could help them and do like a news release that they could use in their local newspapers to publicize, you know, Jane Doe's playing in this tournament, where it is, that type thing. Because that local advertising has a hook, or the local article. I'm going to read about Jane Doe, and then I'm going to read about Sky Valley, and you can orchestrate that and get it into the newspapers, and you know, get what I call really free advertising, but it'll have a hook, because I'm going to read about it because it's somebody in my local club that's playing there. So,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great idea. We certainly will do something like that. I don't know how they gather their 8, like we just saw the President's Cup. Okay, so you know, these guys have to qualify in order to get the President's Cup or Ryder Cup or whatever. So I don't know if that could be a year-long type program. So we might not know till later, but we will certainly promote each one of these women, and certainly need to get with Rayburn County and let them know as well so they can help. So we can, I got some ideas already cooking in my head, so we can really do a lot of stuff. I'm glad we got a year to work on this, but and I will reach out to Jeff at GSGA and talk to him, and then continue the message and say, hey, we would love to do as many as we can. And that means
sounds great.
Maybe one a year, so don't think we're gonna get bombarded.
Very good. Well, and again, like you said, having plenty of advance notice, I can really plan for it.
Yeah. This could be a lot of fun. So I'm
Yes.
excited about that.
Fantastic. Okay, the next item is a website update. Jason and Jamie.
Morning, everybody. As far as the Visit Sky Valley website, the Lawson Media Group, as part of their maintenance, has done some more upgrades to it. They actually have a nice touch right now. When you go to it for the first time, it pops up a little pop-up that says, like I've got it pulled up here. It says, come celebrate fall time at the Sky Valley Fall Fest in Georgia. It gives the dates and times, and it clicks here for more information. So just as soon as you go to it, it pops that prompt up. So that's a neat touch. The Lawson's, as part of their maintenance agreement we have with them for both sites, they've been updating our calendars and doing some of that stuff for us. But just a little on a side note, again, the communication position, when that was brought on, the intent was to kind of take that and run with it. After no traction at all for several weeks, we've actually had 2 or 3 candidates pop up. So we are hoping to find the right person again and get them working with Lawson's and really take this thing in the direction it needs to go.
Thank you.
That's really-
Jamie, do you have anything to add?
No, that's great to hear about the candidates, though. That's wonderful.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, Jamie, you're next. And Forward Raven Marketing Board meeting report. Anything to report?
No, not really. Everything just continues. I was on vacation out of town last month, so there was just a really short meeting. Included in the email, so there's really nothing extra going on, just their same marketing. They have promoted Sky Valley's SkyVest Fall Fest, and they're great to us. They do include us in anything, so you can go to their website and find things that are going on in Sky Valley as well. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is the photo videos for Steve to shoot for the Sky Valley Photo Gallery. And we sent out a note on that. And I guess one of the things we were concerned about was weather. And do you have any, I guess I'll open it up. What items would you like to see shot that he could shoot for this coming Monday, October the 3rd? Any comments on it at all?
Gordon, I'll just add, I got your email, and I did speak to some of our staff people as far as trying to get some photo shots of the employees at work. And Monday will be a trash day. That'll be the most glamorous thing, but depending upon what time Steve comes up and starts taking photos. One of the things the city has to sell from an economic development standpoint is quality of life, and certainly a city that offers that service that may be appealing to some people. So, but Monday's trash day, and I think the weather should be good. And the guys are out doing patchwork today, and so there's a lot of opportunities to see these guys in action, as well as our great admin staff as well in our police department. So
Hey,
Bob should be here Monday as well.
okay, Jason, would you rather us come on the way up the mountain or later in the day? Because I don't know. I hadn't talked to Steve in terms of what time we were gonna probably get there, mid-morning for sure. So
Doug, if you all could come and take pictures Tuesday, I think that'd be better. We have our staff delivering all the hay bales and the ladies starting to decorate all the corners. I think that
Yeah.
would be some cool pictures if you could come Tuesday.
well, we both of us are just, the next month and a half for me is gonna be like nuts. So I'm not the one holding the camera. Steve is going to Vietnam. That's one reason. So he is gonna be leaving, I believe, on the 5th. So this was pushing him to get him to do the 3rd. So
Okay.
and hey, I understand, but we are coming back at the end of the month. So if there's anything else like that, Holly, like I said, we're gonna be up there 2 or 3 days. So
Yeah,
not at
well,
the
the
same
hay
time.
bales will all be decorated by then.
Yeah, no,
so,
that's
yeah.
certainly, we took
Yeah.
pictures of that last year and it looked great. And so we definitely will do that. So anything we miss Monday, then we'll be able to pick up. So y'all just be thinking about it. But I'm gonna run, but Gordon, y'all talk about it, and we don't need anything till Monday morning. So y'all need a
Hey,
couple of days.
Doug, this
Yeah.
is Howard. Let me interject. And Mud Creek Falls, because we're going to get rain the next couple days, Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Could be beautiful. I love putting the city police in there, the police cars, that type thing resonates with people moving here because we have a police force. But sometimes the nature scenes, to have a falls like that and a trail down along that brook would be very powerful to hook people to look further than what, a policeman or some workers. So I'm sure you've done pictures like that before.
Yeah, we actually have on our latest ad, right in the middle of it's Mud Creek Falls and hikers on the trail.
Yeah, so we've got some good pictures of that.
Well,
But
all I'm saying is the falls could be very, very pretty because there'll be more water. I don't know what your picture looks like, but it could be spectacular again.
yeah,
So, anyway,
that's a beautiful, trust me, I could sit there and look at that for hours. So we're just trying to get some extra things. And the mayor came up with some of these, photos of staff. And I think that's fantastic because we want to let people know that, hey, we've got this, and there might be something later on we can come up with. And, we need some pictures of the city hall and the police car and whatever. So,
Hey, Doug,
yes, ma'am.
to put this on your list, just from an ad point of view, the shots that we have that I've seen, now I haven't seen all of them. I haven't picked up the hard drive yet, but the golfers, a lot of the shots are from a distance.
Yeah.
So it's been hard for me to find a really close-up shot of a couple of golfers on the tee or zoom in. So when I have an opportunity to use a golf shot, it would be good to have, of course, a wonderful background, but a little bit closer up connection with the golfers.
I know he's got some in there with all those now that y'all have, that he's been on the tee box with a few of them. Again, it just depends on how they are. He shot last year right there, whatever hole that is, 3 with the chimney, with the gorgeous fall leaves and the golfers sitting right there at the chimney. It was a little ways away, but not much, but we will definitely do that. I think he's got some pretty good ones on 18 green.
That would be a good view.
Yeah, so that's stuff, and that's good. But if y'all continue to talk, or if you think of anything, just email Gordon, because Gordon's just gonna send us a list, and we're gonna just run around everywhere Monday and get stuff done. And then now I won't talk to you till after we're probably going to be back up there again, depending on when the peak season is. I think last year was like November 1st. So, or I'm just saying first, I mean, first week in November, maybe. So we need y'all's help to keep an eye and just you know, see, and we will definitely, now we have our eye in the sky, easy to kind of check out. We'll keep in touch with that. So the next month, we're going to be up there at least 2 to 3 days in the next, 5-6 weeks. So to try to get a lot of good pictures. So please,
Howard.
have anything else, let's let Gordon know, and
Just reach out, Doug, Monday, and we'll go from there.
okay, buddy. Thanks.
Very good. Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good weekend. Thanks.
Thank you. I guess we have the continuation of it. Howard, since you're on it, we're looking at it, activities in the club or activities in the community. Do you have any suggested times, whether it would be golfers, where we could schedule Steve to be up? Golfers or meetings. I was thinking also the founders meeting, where what Steve is looking for also is scenes where people are eating, or activity scenes, social scenes. And do you have any time that we could shoot around that? Steve can be up here and shoot around those activities and do some of the other things we're talking about.
Are you talking on Monday?
Now Monday, I know Monday, I don't think I could see as they could possibly take some golfers, the men's group in the morning, but no, in the future. I'm looking at, he said he's going to be back two or three times, and maybe we could plan around a time where Steve could come up and do some of these activities.
I would suggest on the golfers that, Jamie get with Steve Hare, and we get our more photogenic people, which will be 3 of us. And stage the pictures, it doesn't have to, they can go out and act like they're playing or whatever, but we get, some younger people, we do a proper mix. We have them dressed properly and that type thing, or dressed to their best image, and just stage pictures. As far as the club activities, the tapas night on Tuesdays and whenever that is, it's always a full dining room. The tables are beautiful with the flowers and 6 wine glasses or whatever.
Yes.
That would be good. But I think, if we can plan when he may be coming,
Yes.
the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I don't know what else he wants. There's obviously going to be a Halloween party, which, Holly and her outfit will be something which would be good photograph. But we should be able, don't you think, Jamie, figure out how to stage some things?
I think so, but I do think that he should see it in a natural setting as well, and which always revolves around the Chris's Corner or whatever it's called now, late in the afternoon. There we need to probably orchestrate that just to make sure.
Yes.
But certain nights, and I definitely would agree with the Tapas Tuesday, that would be the best night, if he could come and do that.
And the night, the other thing I think is either the outdoor dining or the patios out there.
Right.
Yes.
We can
Yes.
get them. We got a sunset out there. If we can make that lighting work, but you put some people out there on those, those nice looking patio chairs and tables with the vista of the lake and the mountains in the background. That is very, very powerful. And I think the tapas, because how beautiful the tables are decorated, would be good. And you got a full house generally. But if we could do something outside, and when he's here on Monday, he can decide lighting what would be best.
Okay.
But I think you could do something with the lake and the mountains in the background and showing people enjoying the outdoors. If it's an evening thing, you could get the fire pit going, but I don't think that's something when he's here, it's not going to be dark. And, but that would be my thoughts, that outdoor dining really has appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah, the one thing, because of the software he's got, he has taken pictures of the fire pit with people around it in the daytime or in the late afternoon, and photoshopped it and put a nice sunset in the background and or dusk. So, I wouldn't say let's don't do that, because I think he could probably work with it.
So when do we, if we look somewhere in October, November. Give me some dates. Is the Tapas, is that that's once a month, right? On a Tuesday? How
No,
is that?
That's generally every Tuesday now. That schedule has been sporadic here with
Yeah.
some other things. But we could get with Chris and see, I would, you got to remember, we got a season that's closing pretty
Yes.
quickly. I would think that first Tuesday in November, we could make sure it's going to happen. The Tapas has a following of its own, and I think we would still have that if that's when he's going to be here.
We'll schedule it
That
around.
might even be the peak as opposed to the last week in October. So he would only have to make one trip if
Yes.
we watch that carefully.
So we look at
Agreed.
possibly a date of November the 1st, that'd be Tuesday, as something where we could schedule this around. November the 1st, is it Tuesday?
And
I think
think-
I think that's a good date to kind of shoot for, and check the autumn color for that date, as it gets closer.
Okay. And maybe we can get them for 2 days. If you mentioned the fact you could stay over and do some other things too. Okay. So as a date to look at, let's shoot for the 1st. I'll ask him if we get through and shoot him, he's available at that time.
That would be great, Gordon, if you would get with Chris and
Okay.
so he gets it on the calendar.
Yes.
I think we can get the people there.
Great. I'll first ask if they're available. Doug and Steve are available, and then we'll shoot around this date. It'll give us plenty of time to work around it. Good. That's exciting. Good. Very good. The other is for this, this Monday. Holly had suggested if we're going to have time, emphasis possibly a couple homes where we could go in and shoot in the afternoon inside for the real estate. Jamie, I know you've talked about a little bit. The ones we have, the images we have really aren't, we're trying to promote real estate too as part of these publications. And Jamie, you have any ideas what we should have in the images? And possibly we could do some of this Monday.
Well, definitely views from decks.
Yes.
Curb appeal, front entrance. I think just promoting the feel of Sky Valley with the atmosphere.
Yes.
I always a rock fireplace great room is just a great picture to have. You don't need too many more than that. You don't need any bedrooms really and kitchens. You just need that inviting great room area, some decks, and maybe a front entrance.
One of the comments that Doug had made about promoting and trying to sell lots, any ideas on that? Just taking a few images of lots. Do we have any out there that could show for sale or just what's out there?
I don't know if you want to take up space with just a lot, but if you had a lot that had a fantastic view,
Yes.
I think going down the road and taking a picture of a for sale sign on a wooded lot is not going to say
No.
everything you want it to say.
Right.
We do have on the POA website, and I'm not sure if I think you have to go from the city website to the POA website to get to the real estate listings. But we have everything through the Georgia MLS, everything that's listed in Sky Valley shows up there. It's not that visible on the city site. If that could ever happen, that would be good. But we'll make sure that I don't know, Jason, do you remember if it's just real visible on the Visit Sky Valley site, or if you have to go through the property owner's site to get to it? We might need to address that and see if we can get it more visible, but we have that right there. There's an opportunity to get to it if you know how. So we need to make it more easily accessible.
Well, Holly has suggested, I talked to Holly about a couple of homes we could take shots of, and if the weather's looks like it'd be good. I'll try to contact the owners and see if they're available to take a few, possibly Monday afternoon.
Right.
Trying to skip that in.
I was,
Okay,
I,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Jamie's, oh, excuse me, Jason, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Mayor. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say Jamie's suggestion of the, the front shot and the deck shot and maybe the fireplace. I think that's a fabulous idea.
Great, great.
Yeah.
So I'll try to do that. We'll do that just for Monday, see if some are available to do that. So
Right.
possibly Monday afternoon, we'll do that. Okay, and in the morning, do the city employees.
And hopefully it's not gonna be raining. Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Very good. Again, thank you, and I'll follow up on that. The next idea is the photographer Steve Denver's photos and videos, setup files, categories, how to share Ed Stiles and Jamie. I know there's so many things going on, but the last time we talked about it, we have to have access to it and how to store it. Any thought, anything's been done since our last meeting?
Did you think of anything, Jason?
No, I mean, I have the store drive that he brought in up here. If anybody wants to access it, it's loaded with photos and I think some videos too. And I really haven't done much with it beyond that. With everything I got going on, I'm sorry to say.
I mean, I think that's where we ought to get them from
Yeah.
him on the stored drive. And then whoever needs them has to go pick it up and take it back. It would just be wonderful if we had a site
Mhm.
that people could have access to and log into and view them. Anybody that
Yeah.
needs to work with them. I
we-
mean, there's.
Can we
there's
put them on the
sites out
cloud?
there.
Can we put them on the cloud, Jason?
I'll reach out to the Lawsons and see what they might can do as far
Okay.
as maybe we can let them have the use of this just for the sake of discussion. This is what it looks like. It's not your conventional little thumb drive. It's pretty big, so it holds a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'll reach out to the Lawsons and see if there's maybe they can create some kind of cloud link or
Right.
site that
And
Yeah,
if we
want-
were, I agree with Jamie, picking it up and bringing it back and then it can get
Yeah.
lost. And yeah, I think that's too much. Yeah.
there might be a way the Lawsons can create something. We can put some kind of login credentials and just
Right.
kind of
Yes.
Right.
that way if but again, if somebody, well, anyway, we will do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Good.
agree.
Yeah,
There
great.
is a site out there called Smug Mug that's used, a lot. And I don't know what it costs to do that, but you might compare the cost with something like Smug Mug to whatever the Lawsons are going to do and compare what you get for that. I know Scott, my brother, that takes an enormous amount of photographs, uses Smug Mug. So he'll send me a link and I can go in there and he's got them all categorized. So it's easy to do that on Smug Mug. So let's compare the two.
Right. Good idea.
Yes, Ed, you had come up with last time. Do you have any ideas? Since I guess that was your background, your job. Ed, any comments on this? Ed? We've talked about the
He's
possibility of having-
muted.
Yes, okay,
I will unmute myself.
okay. Ed,
It's
I
my
know last
opinion.
time go ahead.
It's all right. It's my opinion that since we have such a volume of photos, we ought to have someone, ergo the new communication director or whatever, should go through and pick out what they think are the best 40, 50, 60, whatever that is, the number. And that's all you have to fool with. You can hold the others in abeyance, but I don't see any relationship to putting 200 photos up online for people to go pick and choose. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, there was a
Agreed.
cost you're
Or at
talking
least the
about.
communication specialist could categorize them to where if we just want
Yeah.
pickleball players, we don't have to go through 3,000 photographs.
Absolutely.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
The categorization is the important part. If you
Right.
keep them organized by area, then people can go choose what they want.
Yeah. Some are
That's-
doing it. And the
Yeah, that's
important
the
thing is,
goal. And I don't know, are we planning? I don't see giving the access to all the photos to anybody.
Okay.
I think we need to maybe leave it to the committee and
yes,
whoever Holly and
Oh, baby
Jason
girl.
decide.
Where'd you go?
Well, there's a lot of photos. I look on this, on
Yeah.
Steve's notes here. It says 2001, 2022. So this should be all of his last year and this year.
and remember, and we want something that's easy to add photos. And that's one of the things as we go along, something that's easy to add.
Right.
Yes, as we do things. And
I think that's fine, Gordon, but you have to limit who adds.
yes.
Who
yes.
is given that permission to add, because you don't
Mhm.
want the entire community adding photos.
I think absolutely.
Hey,
I agree.
there's dirty.
I agree. I agree. So I guess we're kicking the can down the field here, but so can we have some kind of idea, maybe the next meeting? Because I think this is reasonably important that, we come to have a committee, whatever is, and come to some kind of a solution to it. Jason, you think you could have something by our next meeting?
I can, I mean, I'm gonna, I'll try to just look and see, photos are just so subjective, but
Yes.
I may find something I like and everybody hates it or a communication person, but for due diligence, I will ask the law office, we pay them a maintenance fee every month, a little bit of a retainer. And so, that might be something they could do without a lot of heavy lifting. So, but I'll reach out to Ron and Mike and see what we can do. And I'll have some information by the next meeting.
Yeah, in terms of the organization, the site, and then I can get involved, Jamie, and if 2 or 3 of the members, we can go through these and I think some time and, pick out what we think would be something we'd use. So break it down. Yeah. So we don't want you to do this, but if we could figure out the structure of how we're going to store it, and then with classification, then committee can come together and, we can go through it quickly and figure out what we want to, save and so forth.
okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And I guess we'll just look at the next meeting for that, for a report on that. All righty. Fall edition of the Mountain Traveler magazine. This is something that Jamie, maybe you can tell us a little bit what you did with it. And I just sent it out. I think it's a great half-page ad. So what did you do with it, Jamie?
Well, we just updated the photographs mostly and updated the wording to more the same wording that we used on the previous ad
Yes.
for, I forget what that publication was called, but anyway, we're kind of trying to be consistent with that wording. So I think it looks pretty good. We got some good photographs there. It's colorful. And it does promote the Fall Fest. So I don't have it up in front of me, but so Doug needs another one like the full page ad with the Fall Fest and all taken out, I understand. So we'll
Right.
be working on that.
Yes, good.
Jamie, I
What-
thought you did a fabulous job. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Well,
really
thank
good. The updated photos look wonderful. And of course, the distribution. This, the Mountain Traveler, they print 10,000 copies and distribute it over 10 counties. So you're seeing there's quite a few of these that go out, and we'll see what kind of impact it will have. And good.
Yeah, I think the photos that we have, which Steve took, I think for the most part, few we had to
Right.
pull from the archives, but I think the photos were good. So they, when you have some good photos to work with, it makes it a little bit easier.
So the publishers in this case, they had no question about the quality of them. There was no issue. I know that was always the issue in past years. The photos just didn't measure up what they needed. So you had no
Right.
issue with Steve's photos. Good. Very good. Okay, the next item is the Sky Valley marketing budget update. I sent that out, so we just got it. Did you get a chance to look at this at all? I just sent it out a few minutes before the meeting. And Jason was kind enough to get it out. I guess what we're looking at, the bottom line is what amount of money is available, funds that are available that we could spend on marketing projects at the end of the year. Has everyone looked at it? Had a chance to look at? Okay, I just sent it out a few minutes before the meeting. Essentially, just a recap, and it's hard to say here. Jamie sent it out in our, through here.
Would you like me to do the overview or?
Yeah, maybe that would work out. Go
Okay.
ahead.
As of this morning, as Gordon said, there is approximately $11,086.46 in the checking account. That's the marketing account. There's two different things that you've got your balance and then you got your approved budget. So there's actually more money in the bank than expenditures left to expend. But back in May, the council approved the $17,000 budget for the year. As of today, and these have all cleared, there's been $11,664.35 spent. That's comprised of the ads, $1,300, the $1,250, the tour donation, about $6,600 and some change to Denver photography, about $2,250 towards Doug Hollinsworth Golf Life. That's $750 a month, and then there was a reimbursement of $180 to Jamie for some items. The remaining expenditures for this rest of this year, looks like we still have 4 months left on Doug's agreement that ends December 31st, $750 a month, that's $3,000. And then Steve has one final draw, $1,600. I'm sure he'll have some accompanying expenses with that. He typically does. That's $4,600. So if you take the 17,000, subtract the 11 that's been spent, that leaves about 5,700. There's about $4,600 left in expenses. It leaves about $1,100, but in the budget, but it leaves a little over $5,000 in the account. Gordon had asked about contributions. The account should be a little more as far as carryover. It looks like from the contributions we've received $3,000 from the country club, $1,000 at a time, and then $2,500 from the POA. So it looks like there still might be another $4,500 left to come. So if that's the case, and I'm gonna double check those numbers. I was had some things going on, but it looks like you should have a pretty healthy carryover for next year.
The comment I have is initially when we were talking, there was a budget, we had to put it together, is that we wanted a carryover budget of $3,000. And then the difference, there was expenses that were approved, and then there was amount of money that was unallocated funds that were to be, that could be for new projects that come up. So what I have to know is what amount is in terms of carryover. Do we want to carry over of $3,000? Original plan was a carryover of $3,000 in terms of it. And then any of the funds that are available would be on existing projects for this year. So that's a very important, how much do we have available this year that we could spend on marketing projects and still have a carryover of 3,000? And considering that all other expenses have been approved and taken care of.
Based on my understanding and from talking with our city attorney, as you know, this budget was approved and then the council went back and gave the flexibility to move money to not, because originally it was approved to spend as you detailed it, almost like line items.
Yes, exactly.
And you realize that was not going to work. You needed flexibility. And then the council gave the flexibility to spend the money as long as you didn't go over the approved amount. So What we're seeing here, the approved amount was the 17,000. And it looks like there's about 1,100 be left for these last couple of months to spend on items after Doug is paid, after Steve is paid. And then again, so we're talking $11,000 in the bank, about $5,000 left in expenditures is going to be about $5,000, not $3,000 carryover, $5,000, but there's also some contributions that might be outstanding to be contributed as well, which will increase that carryover. If that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not overcomplicating that.
I guess for the committee, we're looking at, what is available for new projects that are coming up. Okay, thank you. So when do you think you have I guess this number and try to get a solid number for us? I know you've got a lot on your plate.
Well, man, I've got a solid number. I just, as far as what's in the bank and what's left to spend on the budget, I just need to go back and verify if there's any contributions left for this year. I think there are.
Yeah.
That will be added to the account to provide carryover for next year.
Yeah, yes.
Jason?
Yeah.
Jason, this is Howard Becker. As far as the club, I know, and I was not involved in the budgeting and what was set up. We've had a change, in controller, and, if we were set up for periodic payments, I want to make sure that hasn't dropped, through the cracks or something. Are you going to give us an accounting of where the club stands in their, pledge? Or do you want me to do that from this end?
Well, this is from a quick review this morning. It looks like on the 13th of June, we received, and this may be for June and July, but we received $1,000 and then another $1,000 from the club. And then on the 16th of August, we received $1,000. And then on or around June 13th, we received $2,500 from the POA. And from what I can tell, there has not been any other contributions from that. And that's based on the presumption that it was going to be 5,000 each. My understanding that was the commitment. If that's the case, then there would still be $2,500 left to be paid in for the POA and $2,000 left to be paid in from the club. But I'm about 90% sure those numbers are right. I'm 100% sure on the expenditure side and the budget side, those numbers that I gave you.
Jason,
Well-
I requested the final $2,500 of the POA commitment to be paid during this current month we're in, September.
Okay.
So
Okay.
those books have not been closed, as I understand it, at your office yet.
From what I can tell, and I'm going to go back and look at this after this meeting, but I do show one $2,500 payment, but I don't, have you received anything, Monica? Do you know of anything? By the way, Monica is here on the meeting instead of Karen today. She's learning to do some minutes and continues to do a great job for the city.
Very good.
Hi, good morning. As of this month in September, we have not received any outside contributions.
Okay, I'll check with our finance person and make sure that this was
Okay.
done. I sent an email early in the month.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Ed. Thank you.
And
And
I'll check-
I will update. If we receive that, I'll send everybody an email, let you know.
Thank
and
you.
I'll check from the club standpoint.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the question I have on this, if we have a carryover for the budget, this committee would like to have a $3,000 carryover, and we have excessive funds, say $7,000-8,000 in the bank account. How do we go about? Do we have to get an approval for those expenditures? Jason, is that?
Essentially, as we get late this year, first of next year, hopefully it won't take as long, because I think it was May of this year by the time you got those commitments from the other entities. But the city did budget $5,000. That's a contribution. That budget was actually approved the day before yesterday.
Yes.
So that will be available January 1 of next year. We based the presumption that the club and the POA would get $5,000 each. That would give $15,000 of new money injected if everybody, the other gave the other 10, and plus if you have the contributions that are still left to be paid. So theoretically, just some ballpark numbers here.
Yes,
If everything is paid that was approved from your expenditures, you would still have about $5,500 worth of carryover when I'm calculating. If you add those existing contributions we haven't received, which appears to be about $4,000, that would make it 9,000. Then you take the 15,000, that would put about $24,000 into next year, into the account for next year. And that, so as those commitments come in, and as the committee identifies projects and expenditures, and you draft your 23 budget, that's what you would bring before the council for approval.
I got it. But for this year, if something comes up, example, we have the T-shirts, they're $300. That's not shown in there. We approved, the committee approved $300 for the T-shirts, Fall Fest T-shirts.
Yeah, well, that would take it down to about $800 from that $1,100 then, but
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's the way that works. And again, I consulted with our city attorney on this. The budget that you presented, that total dollar is what your cap to spend, which was that 17,385. So next year, if you have, as the committee identifies projects and objectives, it may be $20,000 that you want to spend, of course. So, and then you would want to obviously identify those, and then also ask for the flexibility to move money around as long as you don't go over that approved total.
So if we had any committee had any projects this year, we have to go about get approval. If we see there'll be funds available, how do we go about getting approval to get those funds allocated for this year?
It would be an amendment. It would be, you essentially would have to come back before the council and ask to spend additional monies over that 17,385. And there's money, the good thing, there's money there. It's just, again, we're talking about two different things. We're talking about approved budget, and we're talking about kind of like in our general fund, we have, you call it fund balance. You have a fund balance of about $5,000. So if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Any comments, committee, about the budget, what we have?
Yes. What commitments are you talking about, Gordon, between now and the end of December?
Okay. At this point, there might be, I don't have any specific commitments up unless the committee comes up with something. I don't have any at this point.
Yeah, in governmental financing, you're not allowed to expend more than you're approved for your total budget. So we need to be careful about what we're planning to spend for next year. As much carry forward as we could generate would be good for next year.
Yeah, that's true. Although in our original, we were talking about the budget committee, I thought one of the line items would be the unallocated funds. Remember we said, we had talked about,
There's no such thing as that in governmental financing. You can't have unallocated fund expenditures. You have to expend it on something, and that's what the board approves and the city council approves.
Well, that would be my error. In the case when we talked about, remember the three of us got together, what project we had a certain amount of money that we had the total funding that we had of 25,000, and we had expenses of 17,000. And so there was a variation of there that we thought we could possibly spend if something came up at this point. So
that's unallocated, which carries forward.
Yeah, unless you get approval from the city council.
Right.
Correct.
And Gord, that's easy to do, just a budget amendment. If you find something you need to spend that the committee recommends, that's easy.
Okay, good. All right.
I was just going to add on this as well. Any unspent money in this year's budget, it would just be returned. It would be additional allocation for next year. So as you reset for 23.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you for those comments on it. Very good. Okay, hay bale trail. That's coming up. Ollie, you're mentioning on Tuesday, are they going to be distributing the hay bales? Give us an update on that.
Yes, we've heard from people who want to do hay bales, and we have some new companies that want to come in, and I think it's going to be really great. We were originally going to place all the hay bales this week, but then Hurricane Ian showed up. We decided we didn't need to get them soaked in rain and rot. So we're going to distribute them next Tuesday and start decorating them, and they all will be decorated by the Fall Fest.
Thank you. We have put our entry in for the marketing committee. Do you have any, I sent a note out, anyone having any ideas about how we should decorate it?
I've been thinking about it. That's as
Yeah,
far as
yeah.
I've gotten.
Okay, I hear. Yeah,
Y'all just have to let us know what base color you want it,
Yeah.
and we will have it ready for you.
great. Yeah, I'll be involved, and as we did last year. So yeah, come up with some creative ideas, marketing, or what we did last year. So you got some ideas, play anything. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of buzz about this, a lot of positive energy about this year. We've had a lot of people call. We've had people actually call and say, hey, just want to make sure we're on the list because we're getting together. That people like to kind of get together and almost make it a party as they get on site and decorate. So
Yeah.
maybe, it's a shame Steve couldn't come up with that, because I think that would be some great photography opportunities. Seeing people getting together, painting these things. Because I know my two daughters, they painted 2 of them last year as people made commitments and then they couldn't fulfill them, and they had a blast doing it. So it was a lot of fun.
I think this hay bale is really exciting, something, they can grow on. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful area. Good. Well,
How many bales are going to be on the trail this year? Do we know?
30.
30.
30. Wow. Excellent.
Well, I don't think it's 30 entries, because some of the hay bales have more than one hay bale,
I
but
think
it's
27,
just
27. Good.
I believe. Yeah.
27 or 28. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
If
Excellent.
you go by the pickleball court where the well 3 is, you'll see the huge blue tarps. We've got probably about 25 or 30. We've got some more coming in.
Ah,
They're covered right now, and then we have about 80 rectangular bales here at City Hall being stored under coverage in our pole barn.
very good.
So we're corn stalks and pumpkins. So the guys have really been working hard and making sure this thing comes together nicely.
Very good. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
Again, committee, you have some creative ideas for our entry, shoot them to me. Thank you.
Let me mention also, I'm not going to have any of the hay bales placed on 246, because last year, as I rode by, not speeding, of course, you really couldn't see them that well, because they were intricately designed and so forth. And so all the hay bales this year are going to be within Sky Valley proper, the entrance and on beyond, so that they'll all be there. So that's
Yeah,
we're
good.
going to try that this year, see if that's better.
Good, like it. Good.
I think it'll help better monitor them as well, because we had
Yeah.
some that people were bringing their kids and they were allowing to climb on them, and those things fall apart. They're several hundred pounds. It can do some damage. But anyway, it's of course somebody put a donut on the police one.
Yeah, I was just going to say 2 donuts showed up on the police hay bale. We thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, looking forward to the entries. All righty, we're talking about Sky Valley Fall Fest. Anything that we can add? Of course, committee approved $300 for the t-shirts, which I think is great. Marketing, saying Sky Valley on it. I like that. Any other comments about Fall Fest?
Well, I saw that Ken, Roberta's worse half, sent out some pictures of what the t-shirt looks like, and I think it's gorgeous. They had a contest for the back design, and it's all come to fruition. I think they're going to be really nice. Hey, the Fall Fest, we have food trucks coming, petting zoo, a bus where kids can go on and make things. And I think we have 32 vendors already coming. We're going to have a dog parade, antique car show, and a lot of food. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
In terms of the schedule of events for a photographer, is anything gone out time-wise, the sequence of events when these things will happen?
Well, I think we'll get with Peter McIntosh and make sure he knows that.
Right, right.
We also are going to have a grandstand and they'll be, announcing when like the dog parade starts and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'll be the coordinator for the photographer, so anything.
Okay,
once we
that'd be
get to-
great.
Yeah,
Gordon.
I'll sort of.
The city also has rented 2 limo golf carts, and so we'll be able to take people around, and we're going to have volunteers helping, and it's going to be fun.
You might see me on the tractor pulling the hay bales. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
That'll be a photography
Yeah.
issue.
I'll wear
right
my
there.
overalls that day.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward. I think it's gonna be an exciting time getting Fall Fest back again. That's great for the community. Okay, wrapping up, our next meeting is set for October the 27th. Any comments about that as approval? How does that look for the committee? Next meeting would be the last Thursday of the month, October the 27th. Any issues
Okay,
with that?
here.
Okay, good. We'll set that up.
27th looks good for me.
Well, it's good, great. Any other items that we should be discussing? New business?
How about your face on the hay bale, Gordon?
Oh, and Holly's the
Holly,
perfect
I'm
one
not-
to paint it. Do you hear me,
No.
Holly?
No.
Well, last year,
You were so good.
Holly painted it, so we gotta come up with something, yes, yeah,
I turned off my audio, sorry.
okay. Okay, is there a motion for adjournment?
I make a
Your
motion that we adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
right.
Aye.
All right.
Very good. Thank you, committee. Great meeting as usual.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Monica.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.